Okay, welcome back to part two. So now we got this motor right here. As you can see, there's dirt stuck in it. What you can do is I've modified a toothbrush. I've heated it with a heat gun just to kind of get in the angles here. And I've also got this here, which is a strainer. So it helps strain all the stuff that may go into the sink. Be cautious. Be cautious. You don't want to dump the stuff down the sink. So I'm just going to brush this. You don't want to get it wet unless you're confident in swapping out motors, or if the motor's still good, you don't want to take that risk. And the motor in this case is good. Okay. Got a little pair of scissors here. Just scraping some of that stuff off. Okay. As I turn it over, you can see there's more dust and dirt. Okay, that looks good. This is spring loaded. This is what allows your roller to seat on. So when you push the roller in and then lock into place on that area where you use a flat screwdriver, this will push into place, which will keep tension on the roller itself. Let's look at this here. Yeah, we got some dirt in there too. Now, if you really wanted to, you could run water through this because you've got your wires coming up into the connection. There's really no concern as long as you keep, you dry it. You give it a day or two to dry it. I like to run a dehumidifier in a room, and that creates a lot of warm air and fresh air kind of pushing through, and it pulls all the moisture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run some water in this. Now I've got another longer toothbrush here that I use for cleaning as well, which is just straight. And if you really wanted to, you could wet the toothbrush just like this and clean the base out. So when we go to put it back in the casing, it'll be nice and tight. It'll create a nice seal. Okay. As you can see, it's starting to clog, but if I pull away, you can see all that. And that's just from, this is just from this, right? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this in a bucket. Then we're going to move to the roller. Okay, so you got this here. Pull this away. You see it's pretty dirty. Okay. And these are mechanical parts, but there's, no gears, no lubricants, no nothing like that. Okay, now I've also got this. It's like that magic eraser. You can see the white marks, so it's great if you want to kind of refurb and kind of make it look new, or not kind of, but you can make it look new. Check that out. Like new. Put that in the bucket. Okay, we'll move to the top cover. A little bit of dirt, dust, debris, pet dander, and hair. Okay. So I like to get in there, this channel here. And run it under. It doesn't have to be piping hot water, just like warm water. It'll take away all the grease and grime. You know. Yeah, already looking so much better. I'm gonna switch out to this brush, the 90-degree brush that I made. And go along here. And you can use a straight brush. I just find it's ergonomically handier to have one of those just in case. I do this quite a bit, so. And don't forget to put it to the side or under your cabinet or something, or mark it. You don't want to be using this brush after, so for brushing your teeth at least. Look at the difference. Look at that. Okay. Now we've got the roller. We already pulled the cap off. Grab some scissors. You know, they've got this thing called the hair vein technology, which they've constantly kind of upgraded and made it deeper. Just take a pair of scissors. You know, you're gonna have hairs that are gonna be on the roller. Grab yourself a pair of scissors. Look, there's some thread right there, right? Sometimes it gets pulled away from the carpet. And now, I'm just going to use a little bit of soap on my hands and work it back and forth and watch the magic. Okay. Let's turn this off. I'm just going to dunk it, watch what happens. See how brown that turned? And we haven't even touched this yet. This is still a little bit dry. So we're going to go ahead, dunk it a little bit. Okay. We're going to get in there. So if you're ever wondering, do these units get dirty? They sure do. Now, what we're going to do is I just want to grab, I'm going to go ahead and grab some of this. Look at that. And we haven't even done all the pieces yet. So, but again, this is normal. If you have pets, this is normal. This actually head is not that bad compared to a lot of them. But you want to keep cleaning these units and maintaining them at least, once a year. You spend a little bit of time, and you're going to save yourself a few $100. And and now with parts readily available for them, you can keep them going for a long time. There you go. Look at that. Okay. Some more. Now we can move on to the next. That roller's clean now. So we're going to go ahead and put this piece of hair still. Let's just give it one more rinse. There you go. There you go. Nice and clean. Another one done. Okay. Now we got the bottom cover. You can see the hairs. Just run your brush all along. Get it nice and clean. Make sure to turn it over, you know. Just double check everything. Now that you've got it apart, you wanna make sure that you get all the nooks and crannies, because once you put it back, you know, it takes effort to do all this, right? And the whole point of this channel is basically telling others, hey, if I can do it, you can too. You just need the tools to do it. Okay, looks good. Just check the corners. The corners here. Just make sure everything looks good. To the inside here, because this is where the motor's gonna sit in. These are the channels I was talking about here. One here, one there, and then the motor sits in, puts into there, and then kind of pushes against it. And that will be for part 3 when we do a reassembly for the motor head or the motor bar. These are called motor bars, by the way. Dyson calls them motor bars, which is the power head unit. Okay, this one's done. Nice and clean. On to the next. Now, we have this piece here. We got a lot of gunk. I don't know if you can see that, but this goes in to here. And if you know, this one might be stuck because there's a lot of stuff going on here. If I use my toothbrush. Okay, here we go. This pulls away. Okay. Yeah, how about we just clean it for now? So get rid of all the stuff. And that might create an opening for us to really get in there. Now you can kind of see it here, where it sits in there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pull this back. Let's try to slide it here. There we go. Now it's starting to give way. So maybe try to, there you go. See, you got all this stuff sitting in there that's stopping it from sliding out. And a lot of the motor bars that I clean out, this is probably one of the most common things to see. There's a lot of dirt and debris sitting in between these things, in between the wiper. Okay, you can see, look at all the floaties. It's all pet hair. Again, dirt, grime, dust from day-to-day use. And you know what? This is a good sign because it shows that the owner's using it. They're cleaning their house, and it's good to see that they're putting this thing to work. Okay, we got it nice and clean. This goes back. I'll do it one more time so you can kind of see. So this goes here. There's 2 grooves here, right? It goes like this and slides just like that. Okay, let's create a seal right there. That's what it looks like. So now that's done. Okay, last and final piece, we got this. It doesn't take much effort to clean this. Usually it's the top part of it hides the wires, and it joins up and meets with the joint where the unit pivots. Usually I don't see much dirt, dust, and debris up and behind this. It just takes a light scrubbing. Okay. And then sometimes it does have white marks on it, like, I don't know if you can see that there. Very few white marks. It does have this red mark there. What we'll do is we'll use that magic eraser. See if we can get that out. And there's a white mark there. Usually it's from banging against walls, and takes a little bit of elbow grease, but most of the time it comes off. We got that red stain out, and we got pretty much that white mark out. Give it one more pass over. There you go. Here we've got, and you can see there's a white mark there. Just run it over there. And voila, it's gone. Okay. Do one more rinse. And this one goes in the bucket. Stay tuned for part 3.